Yeah, so we're going to talk about NFTs today. No, we're not. As always in these videos, quick EP album compilation reviews right here, and in this one in particular, covering the whole of September, the month that we just had, of course, and I'm covering them all in alphabetical order by way of artist or record label name, and they're all linked below as per in the description, and the special mentions coming at the end, those which I didn't find much to comment on myself, but which I think that you might, maybe, possibly, potentially enjoy if you were to check them out yourself, so please do go and check them out. But yeah, right here, it's a roundup of everything bass music from the last month. You know how we do, let's go. And kicking off this installment, we have the new EP from Akov Transcendence, which is a colourful, animated, grisly, neuro-y kind of selection right here. I think if you enjoy old Cone Sound, Vorso, Seppa, Chi, these kinds of artists, you know, that kind of ballpark, then I think you will like this EP quite a lot. But yeah, great production, decent ideas, and a good range of styles as well, tackled within that neuro-y kind of design. But yeah, recommend. New EP from Blurred Vision, which is just classic of the duo, I would have to say. 4 more super sharp, hybrid trap, bleepy bloopy kind of numbers that we're getting right here. It's what we know and love them for, of course. I think some of the ideas could have maybe pushed a little bit further, just a bit more invention here and there. But the drops overall, I think, are very good. And with that kind of extraterrestrial vibe running through the whole thing, just amps it up, give it that bit more flavour. And yeah, one of the best duos in bass music at the moment, for sure. Solid EP. An interesting EP here from Council Pop. Not that mad on most of the ideas that we get here, for me anyway. But the energy of it front to back I find pretty captivating, pretty engaging, I would have to say. A pretty distinct modern rave flavour to the whole thing as well. Almost kind of big beat in the production and the delivery and that kind of thing. So I like it for that, and you know, hints of Six Impala in there as well. If you're a fan of them, then yeah, you might like quite a bit of this EP as well. But yeah, for me, boiling it down here, love the aesthetic, but only a couple of concepts that I'm really enjoying. I think it's Burning Plastic and Blue WKD. But yeah, as an EP overall, not bad, not bad. New EP from Desperation, which is a bit of a classic Eat Brain kind of project, you know, grungy D&B, quite riveting and high-paced and frantic and that kind of thing. I think for me, the ultimate pick here would be Shield, the opener. Does kind of lose its way a little bit conceptually as it goes on over the 3 tracks, but does keep up that earthy and meaty design very well over the course of it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. New album from Dirt Monkey, which is okay. I think the production, mostly great, and an amazing colour to the whole thing, which I think he's best at. But most of the ideas I don't really find memorable in any way, I would have to say, and yeah, just quite ordinary on that front across the whole thing. I'm enjoying Quarantine Slap quite a bit, and Submerged towards the end is interesting as well as a bit of a switch up, but energy-wise, most of it just sounds way too similar, and other parts feel a bit rushed here and there. And overall, it just comes across way more as a compilation than an album, I would have to say, you know, just a collection of tracks without much of a story or kinda, you know, that much character behind it. So, yeah. New EP from Eliminate, which is decent. I think, yet again, production-wise, arrangement-wise, still one of the best in bass music, 100%. I think that would be quite difficult to deny. Conceptually, this EP, I just don't think it ranks alongside his other recent EPs, just my opinion, but you know, we get good ideas here, but they're just not great in comparison with other stuff he's put out. I love the intro and outro of the opener. I think Elevator overall is brilliant. I think parts of Walk Away are very good. But as a collection overall, I think it's lacking wow factor and the, you know, the classic charm, the emotion, the humour that we usually get from Eliminate. Just my take, but that's what I'm hearing. I think also, you know, perhaps unfortunately for him, is that that's a problem with setting such a high standard, is that, you know, he's got that bar, and now there's a kind of maybe a bit of an expectation with what he's doing and what he puts out from now. You know, still high quality, not going to deny that. In the grand context of bass music, it's very good, but my main thought coming out of it, having heard it quite a few times by now, is yeah, just far from his best. First full project of music here from ISOXO, and it's pretty good, I think. Exhibits the energy and hype of his style very well. The middle part of the EP is not quite as enthralling as the opener and closer for me, which are both brilliant, you know, tracks 1 and 5 that we get here. And the ISOXO formula does become quite evident as it goes on. And you've even got that, you know, rattlesnake percussion kind of hit from Power Move, his collaboration with Peekaboo, just playing a part in every track here. So, you know, little things like that do make it a little bit stale as it goes on. But again, for a first EP, I think it is good, and it provides a good springboard, I think, to kind of experiment more and just try out a few different genres going forward here and there. Yeah, new EP from Kompany, and I just feel like he's more creative than this, I would have to say. You know, I get that he's got a style by now, the Briddim, the heaviness, etc., but most of this I just can't distinguish ideas-wise from loads of other stuff that we get at the moment and have done for the last couple of years or so. You know, there's very little individuality kind of singling these tracks out. It's just loads of that mindless, overblown, overly heavy kind of delivery and approach, and definitely and undeniably one of the best producers in that style. But invention is very hard to come by in this EP, I'm gonna have to say it. And yeah, I just feel like he's better than the festival-oriented stomper, again, overly heavy kind of approach and a bit bereft of invention and innovation. But yeah, just my take. Another good EP from Leotrix, you know, not quite round 3 or Visions of the Leo level, but still good for sure. And the title track would have to be my pick here. Loving the dark energy of it, how it kind of jumps and skits about. Very cool. The other tracks for me are quite varied, you know, working in parts but not as whole cuts in the same way that the title track does in my opinion. But overall still, I mean, here yet again, further proof that he is one of the best in bass music at the moment. No question, no doubt. His standard way up here and just consistent quality. And where else are you going to find that in bass music? Let me know in the comments below. Do prove me wrong, but yeah, just can't find that in many other places in this scene. Yeah. New LP from LSDREAM, which is another album where, you know, I love the style, top production, the vibe of it, fantastic, but again, just not that many ideas making me want to hear it again and again and go back to the album repeatedly. A lot of it just sitting in that range of okay or agreeable to decent or pretty good, and yeah, again, just not a lot getting me out of my seat and excited. Which might be the point, you know, the emphasis on it being just a bit chilled and a bit woozy, that psychedelic feel, and there are some fantastic vocals and bits of musicality as well here and there. And yeah, it is nice to listen to, I can't deny that. Just chill back and, you know, whatever, have it in the background maybe kind of thing, but, you know, that isn't something I'm going to be wowed by. So I talked last month about Flax having maybe my favourite DPMO EP so far, but this one right here from Madcor might have superseded it by now. I'm just going to put it out there. You know, some real flavour here. Definitely drops that could have been built on just a little bit more, fleshed out a little bit more, a bit more layering and a few extra sounds here and there, but overall just a very exciting EP, you know, well produced, ambitious in parts here and there, you know, with bits of experimentation as well. And I just love that contrast between colour and, you know, mechanical vibe, if you get me, like nature versus industry, that kind of thing, and how they meld as a kind of theme for the EP. Just very cool, and it's all very well contained and compact and all that. So yeah, good stuff. This new compilation from Mousetrap, curated by No Manner. For me, pretty underwhelming given the hype and the names on show. But for what it's worth, really enjoying the Moki and James Egbert and No Manner. And the other No Manner collaboration, actually, with Tommy Trash is decent as well. The ATM towards the end, but yeah, beyond that, just varying levels of okay. An EP right here that I forgot to mention last month, came out August 31. That was when it was put out, and yeah, just mentioning it here because I have to. Because you all have to go and check it out. Honestly, big recommend right here. Wavy, wobbly, deep dub, rhythm kind of music, very gritty and solid, in-your-face kind of drops, and some of the best production that I've heard over the course of an EP all year, you know, really is an exhibition in that alone, so you gotta check it out just for that. But yeah, what an EP, and one of the best I've heard all year for sure, so please do go and check it out. This new album from Mr. Bill, very good, a lot going for it, just a pretty stunning listen, front to back, I would have to say. And it's just great, I think, to hear bass music given this kind of care and consideration when it comes to the construction and the sound choice and the musical direction of each track, and how everything just kind of ties together and is pieced together here by Mr. Bill. The production, mostly flawless, I would have to say, and there's variety here in the style and the ideas. And there's great collaborations with the likes of ROUNDUP and Kill Smith and Sorrow and Scope, etc. And it's just got that bite and that menace always lying underneath the colour and the glow, which is just perhaps maybe a bit more overt across the EP, across the LP, sorry, than other kind of factors that we get here. And yeah, just some exceptional stuff across the LP. So, like I said, very good. And if you haven't heard it yet, then you have to hear it. Simple as. You know, as collaboration EPs come, I would say this one here from Nimda and Aimless is a pretty good one. Collaborations are solid that we get at the end, the final two. The title track would have to be mile and away from me the pick of the four, and the two solo cuts do complement those collabs pretty well. The Nimda for me perhaps a bit more so, I think, stylistically, but yeah, the Aimless one as well, still pretty good in terms of fitting in the EP. And each one, I think, each of the four cuts here got something memorable about it, so yeah, rough moments here and there, but mostly a good job for a collaboration EP. I feel like Lockdown in just the last year and a half or so has it's done something to Know the Boy, because my god, his sound just seems a lot nastier, more evil, more sinewy, more attacking than before, when it was, you know, still dystopian, still with that kind of post-apocalyptic kind of vibe to it, but, you know, more of a technological leaning to his music. But here, just, wow, the savagery coming through. I mean, Sonic's happened, but, you know, regardless, this EP, very here for it, and, you know, some good ideas on show here and there. Production tops yet again, as usual from him, and not special as an EP overall, as a collection, but just a very nice and sweet dose of his style yet again. So, yeah, good stuff from Know the Boy. Really enjoying this new direction from Oddprophet. I think it sounds noticeably different for him. Not only the ideas, which are pretty ambitious, you know, tempo changes and the like, but production-wise as well, I think it just feels, well, his style and sound just feels a lot more rooted, less screechy, and that gives it a particular depth, which I think is good for his approach. My main gripe with it would be that a couple of tracks do just overstay their welcome just a bit, and are a bit too long, and there are a few points as well where the overall sound could just be fleshed out and developed just a little bit more. But ultimately for me, this EP just sounds like, with respect to what he was doing before, you know, it sounds like someone doing what they want to do and having fun, and not kind of being withdrawn or kind of straitjacketed by people wanting him to do a specific thing. Great features as well across the EP, so yeah, it's a good little collection. New compilation from Sable Valley, which initially I didn't enjoy very much at all, but hearing it again, it's actually a pretty good compilation, would have to say. Definite pick for me would be the X and G and Rohan collaboration. I think their styles just blend and function together so well. Very, very effective as a cut, and then beyond that you got the DJ Ride, the Hellbound, the Dead Crow, the Control Freak. I could even mention others like the fucking Cosway and Rossi, for example. But yeah, pretty much all of them are just so solid in, you know, at least one way or another. It's a very impactful compilation for sure. Another compilation, this time from Savage Society, which has got a load of industrial, metallic, rhythmy kind of music on show that's got great energy, to be fair. I do rate it for that, but not that much invention on show, it does have to be said. But that being said, I think the tracks that stand out for me do come from, in order, Via, Madcor, Blank Space, G-Co and Tigers. So a good few of the 20 that we do get, around a quarter, and a few others here and there that are good in parts. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. New album from Shanghai Doom, and if you remember, I remarked recently on how their ideas and concepts just aren't sticking quite as much at the moment, last year or so perhaps, and that's definitely improved on here, you know, 100%. You got some more memorable drops on show for their style, definitely. Production and arrangement as well, you know, sound choice, incredible as per. We're getting that again here from them. But more than anything, this album does leave me thinking that they're putting out so much music year on year that I would really love for them to just kind of take their time to craft something with just a bit more story to it. You know, again, we're getting a bit of a situation here where this is an album that just feels way more like a compilation, just a kind of collection of bangers than an LP, you know, something with a bit of a story to it, a bit more charm and allure, and, you know, something to properly just bring you in and get you invested. It's full of imagery, the colour, the sound choice, how it's all put together is incredible, amazing. So yeah, for me, when I hear this album, heard it a few times now, but I just can't help but think, yeah, want to hear something a bit more scenic, a bit more drawn out and atmospheric, that kind of thing. because yeah, I think it deserves it. Their style is fantastic. But yeah, just my 2 cents on that one. Mad compilation from Silkenwood, one of the best of last month for me for sure. A fairly new label and just full, you know, stacked with serious underground talent, like really full to the brim kind of thing. And a wide range of genres covered here, you know, almost entirely bass music, a couple of lighter leaning tunes here and there, but yeah, bass music, loads of different styles, and my personal favourites here coming from Fox, Snowstorm and Dav, and Shrike is good too. But I think stuff to enjoy about all of them. You know, we got 9 cuts here, so yeah, there is stuff to enjoy about each one. And this is a label to look out for. Mark my words and trust me, this imprint, this collective, whatever you want to call it, they're going to be putting out some seriously good music going forward. And, you know, eyes on it. Keep your eyes open. Eyes emoji, all that kind of shit. Just watch out for Silkenwood. Very solid EP from Skybreak, in my opinion, who has come on leaps and bounds since the earlier part of 2020. Just more going on, production's a lot fuller, musicality-wise as well, just a lot more on point, more ambition with the ideas, just everything's cohering here better for me. It just feels more together, and in all aspects, just feeling more impressive overall, his music, over the stretch of an EP. And I hope that he just gets that big label chance again soon so he can kind of translate that over to a bigger platform and a bigger audience. So yeah, here's hoping, but bottom line, just vast improvements for me from Skybreak over the EP format. Highlighting this EP because it's great, and SuperAV deserves way more of a following. It's your kind of West Coast bass and dubstep and trap influenced and freeformy and wub field, you know, that kind of thing. Super fat sound, super clean production, loads of swagger, down and dirty, you know. Some tracks are better than others here, but yes, please, please, please do check it out. You will not regret it. 3 complete and absolute house bops here from Truth and Lies, straight up, no messing around. They've all got that kind of swing to them, good bass lines, top vocal samples. I'm just vibing, basically, when I hear it, and definitely one of the best house EPs I've heard all year, and I can't say anything more than that. So the plan, of course, was to cover this in full, but, you know, it's a lot of effort for a review for an album like this one, how much I'd have to put into it and piece together for people to just not watch it. So I think after many listens of it now, there's a lot of good here in this album, Simulation. Track-wise, Redline, So Sorry, Exile, Fork Funeral, Dreaming, This Could Be Us are all great, for me anyway, and there are nice bits of experimentation in here, with just about enough variety available across the whole thing. And there are loads of very memorable motifs as well that are littered throughout the album. Production, mostly very on point across the board as well. That being said, quite a few sections here do feel a bit rushed to me, you know, sequences that maybe had to be hashed out a bit just to get the album done on time for a specific release date or whatever. And some of the tracks overall do just feel a bit superfluous in the context of the album and don't really add anything to the LP for me. And just quite a lot of similar sounding colourful dubstep on show, and similar structures as well when we're talking about, you know, just consuming the album as a whole. So yeah, whilst I love Simulation for specific moments and, you know, tracks here and there, as a whole collection, I do think there are quite a few points, well, a fair few points that I just feel quite readily inclined to skip, if I'm being honest, every time I go into it. So yeah, generally here, a good album, Simulation, and I think very difficult to make something perfect for everyone, you know, or anything even remotely close to that, I would say. But, you know, when I hear it, when I get to the end each time, I am left wanting something maybe just a bit more cohesive, and with maybe a few more star-studded and high-quality tracks, I think. You know, for me, it's a bit of a half-and-half situation here when it comes to the best stuff, and then stuff that's just a bit more run-of-the-mill, and not him in full flow. So, yeah, there you go. My condensed and shortened, narrowed down review of Simulation. There we go. More super fresh, trap, glitchy, dubsteppy, hybrid kind of goodness here from Exotics. And the opener for me being the outright best, and the most complete feeling ideas-wise, and just so clean on the air. Just the production, I mean, it's worth checking out the EP just for that opener. Just check how glitchy and clean and fresh it is. Just please do that. The other two I think are decent in backing it up as well across the EP. Just a real awareness again here from them with the note placement and the arrangement and all that kind of thing. So yeah, a good EP, and another artist just really deserving of a far, far bigger following. So do them a favour, do me a favour, and go and check out them and the EP and drop them a follow. But there we have it. Another bumper edition of the Extra Nawties monthly roundup. Thank you very much for watching. September 2021, that's what we just went through. Bass music and all that jazz. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, thank you very much for watching. But yeah, now the special or extra mentions, going to put them up on the screen here right now for you all to see. And yep, if you want to note them down, take a screenshot, whatever, so you can just have them in the bank and listen to them after this video, which I do very much recommend. But with regards to what I reviewed in this video, which ones did you enjoy, which others not so much? Are there any that I missed out? EPs, albums, compilations, let me know in the comment section down below. Beyond that, keep it naughty, and if it's naughty, then you know. And I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace.